Hello, this is meteorologist Brad Warner from Region Weather Live, your YouTube source for weather across the Dakotas and Minnesota. And in this video, we're going to talk about the next 2 rounds of snow moving through the Dakotas and Minnesota. We're going to show you who's got the best chances for snow over the next couple of days, and we'll take a look at those pesky winds. So let's get right into it by taking a look at that first storm that's going to be moving through the region Tuesday through Wednesday. Now by 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, that snow has already made it into the Missouri River Valley region and into southwestern portions of South Dakota. And as I said in the previous video, that snow is just going to slowly creep to the east by 9 a.m. It just kind of slides a little bit further east of the Missouri River. And as it does so throughout the morning, most of this is going to be light, but there could be a few pockets of moderate snow tucked in here and there. And here by noon, it's just creeping into that James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. And by 3 p.m. Tuesday, creeping just a little bit further east, but not making a whole lot of movement. Here we are 6 p.m. Tuesday evening, and 9 p.m. just finally starting to make it into portions of Minnesota. By midnight, a little more so across the north. Once we get to about 3 a.m. and here by 6 a.m., a little more into Minnesota and creeping into the southern portions of the state as well. But by this point, by 6 a.m. Wednesday morning, you can see most of that snow is out of the central and actually out of the east for the most part, just kind of hugging the eastern portions of the Dakotas at this point. And that's really where the snow kind of remains throughout the day on Wednesday. It just kind of flows in from the south. That moisture continues to flow in from the south. That snow just continues to linger on across Minnesota. Pretty much expected to be light throughout the daytime hours, and here we are going into the night, Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. Now, as I've also stated, that wind really won't be too bad overall, as we can see the wind gusts going throughout the morning, and here we are into the afternoon. Really doesn't pick up until maybe a little bit as we get into Tuesday evening, closer to that 9 p.m. We see some 30, maybe 35 mile per hour wind gusts across eastern portions of North Dakota. Those wind gusts a little bit here down in the southern portions of Minnesota. There's not a whole lot of snow going on by this point, so this really won't blow around any of that new stuff. The only thing it might do is blow around some of that snow that they've received over the last day, but really a good portion of that was that wet, heavy snow. So I'm not really too concerned about the wind down there in southern portions of Minnesota through the evening hours. Maybe a little bit up here in the Devil's Lake Basin and northern portions of the Red River Valley. But even that doesn't really last too long as we go through the overnight hours and into the early portions of Wednesday morning. We can see some gusts here across northern Minnesota gusting to 30 miles per hour. That might cause some drifting, but again, we're kind of getting into those areas, those wooded areas that don't reduce visibility as a whole lot. I mean, we probably will get some drifting. Perhaps the roads will become a little snow covered in some of these areas throughout Wednesday morning. But then as we go throughout the late morning hours, that wind kind of dies off. And the rest of the day doesn't look too bad. Perhaps a little bit of wind coming off the lake up here in the northeast. That might cause a little bit of problems up there as we get to later in the afternoon and evening hours. But all in all, not a ton of wind with this, especially with the main bulk of snow that's expected to move through. And so here's the current thinking as far as the accumulation goes with this little system that runs through Tuesday and Wednesday, with that main area kind of stretching from southwest South Dakota up to maybe eastern portions of North Dakota, northwest Minnesota, and then back down into western portions of South Dakota, southwest North Dakota. This is kind of the main area where most of the snow will track across. Now, the models continue to have a little bit of problem deciding exactly how much snow will fall out of this. Run to run, as we get closer to this event, it seems like the models want to back off on some of the snowfall totals that is associated with this particular storm. But with that said, with the amount of moisture coming over the Rockies and filling into western and central portions of North Dakota, I still think there's that potential of 5 to 7 inches within this region. And unfortunately, coming up in some of these areas in through North Dakota and South Dakota, where they've already received over 8 inches of snow over the last couple of days, and really over 20 inches of snow within the last week. So they are going to be getting more unwanted moisture, more snow. I'm sure they're getting sick of it there. Elsewhere, we're looking at kind of a general 3 to 5 inch mark. And beyond this main little section here, we're pretty much looking at anywhere from a trace to 3 inches. It just kind of depends. Obviously, within this blue area, we're looking more between that 1 to 3, and just kind of outside in this brighter bluish color. I don't know, I'm horrible with my colors and describing them, but at any rate, within here, we're looking more to that trace to 1 inch. Now, unfortunately, just as the moisture and the snow associated with that particular little system moves off to the east, the next one already is ramping up, pulling in more moisture into South Dakota, Minnesota, North Dakota, right on its heels. By Thursday morning, 6 a.m., moisture already being pulled into the system and wrapping it in. And as the snow from the first one begins to diminish, we're already getting redeveloping snow with this next one coming in Thursday morning. Now, it will start off patchy and light through the morning hours, but as we kind of get more so into the afternoon Thursday, we're going to increase the potential of seeing the moderate snow through the afternoon hours, particularly down into southern portions of Minnesota. That's the main area that's really probably has the best chance of seeing that moderate to heavy snowfall. Now, there might be a few other areas further back that squeezes out some of this snowfall that could potentially see some moderate as well. But ultimately, as we continue to push this into Thursday evening, look at that snow really ramp up down here into southern portions of Minnesota. It's going to get nasty real quick down there. That snow is going to be falling heavy. It will be wet, and so that's going to make the roadway slippery, slushy. It's going to become a mess by the time we get into Thursday evening. As we continue along here by 9 p.m. and by midnight Thursday night, early Friday morning, we continue to see maybe some moderate snow here, continuing down into southeastern portions of Minnesota. We see those isobars kind of tightening up a little bit here across southern portions of Minnesota, so that means that wind will pick up just a bit down here as well. And in the meantime, by midnight here, we continue to see the possibility of at least some light snow here on the backside going and stretching back into North Dakota. Now, the good thing is it looks like this is going to exit out perhaps a little bit quicker than I was previously thinking by 6 a.m. here Friday morning. All we're left with here is just some light snow, particularly into eastern portions of Minnesota. Maybe left with a little bit of wind gusts here. We'll take a look at that in a bit. But ultimately, the rest of the day on Friday looks to be pretty good across the region. Now, the wind gusts throughout the day on Thursday do not look too bad. It's more so as we get into Thursday evening and Thursday night that those winds kind of increase, particularly down here into south central and east central portions of Minnesota. Also ramps up a little bit down here in southwest South Dakota as well, but ultimately this will be the trouble spot, as these will be more east to probably northeasterly winds pushing in through this region. And as we continue to go throughout the night and early portions of Friday morning, we can see those winds continuing across eastern portions of Minnesota, but then throughout the day, throughout the morning in particular, those winds do diminish. Now, the models are having a difficult enough time to just determine how much snow exactly is going to fall with this storm system that's coming tomorrow, much less with this one that's coming Thursday into Friday. So it's really difficult to tell at this point exactly how much to forecast and where. But for now, I'm just going to kind of give you a general idea. I think within this purple area in through here, Fairmont, Rochester, Albert Lee, all you guys down here in the south has the best chance for seeing that heavy snow and seeing over 6 inches of accumulating snowfall. And again, that's going to be more than likely that wet, heavy stuff that's associated with this. In fact, I'm probably the most confident down and through this region as to what's going to happen. I really think you got the best chance for seeing the most snow. It's these other areas really throughout the remainder of our region that's a little more up in the air. So I think this area in blue has the best chance of seeing at least 3 inches or more out of this next storm system coming through Thursday and into Friday. But exactly how much and where, that really needs to be worked out yet. Continue to update you here on this YouTube channel, but make sure you also watch my social media channels, because I will put up graphics that I've not only uploaded here on the video, but throughout the day here tomorrow and in the next couple of days. Because there's going to be times when I'm not going to be able to necessarily provide a video, but I can maybe upload some graphics that you can take a look at and get the latest thinking out of what we're expecting out of this. So make sure you also check those out as well. All right, everybody. So keep up to date. We'll keep you up to date as well. And if things really get hairy, we're going to go live with some storm coverage. So make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell button, hit the like button. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments I've gotten lately. Sure, great to have the support along with this, telling me, hey, good job. You appreciate the work that I do. And that is great. Love having you all with me and gathering with me. Make sure you tell more and more people so this channel just continues to grow. All right, everybody. For Region Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody, have a good day.